your head on my shoulder.
Hey guys, it's Mayana, and today I wanted to do a book review for The Cruel Prince. I finally read and loved a hyped book, and I'm so proud of myself. And this book literally destroyed me, okay? Like, this book ruined my life. If you follow me on Twitter and you see my thread of me reading it before I deleted it, like, you know that this book literally wrecked me, okay? Like, it ruined me. Today my makeup is like a fairy inspired makeup. Basically, The Cruel Prince is about these three sisters who are brought to fairyland after their parents are killed by their mother's first husband. He's the father to the oldest sister, and he raises all three of the girls as his own. So basically, for my book reviews, I usually do I'm gonna put this down, okay? Y'all seen the book. So basically, for my book reviews, I usually go pros, cons, ratings, but today I'm gonna do ratings, then pros and cons, because I want to do like the non-spoilery stuff first. I rated this book a 5 out of 5 stars. This is my fourth 5 out of 5 star read of this year so far. So honestly, the book was really slow. I was listening to the audiobook. The plot didn't really kick in until the last half, and I think that I really liked this book just because of the drama that happened. Like, whew, the drama in the like end of the book, like, it will get you. I think the biggest reason why I like this book is because I listened to it on audiobook, because I remember picking it up for the first time like over summer, but I was also on vacation and like put it down because like if the first page doesn't catch me, I'm putting it down, honestly. But I was just, this is my second audiobook I've ever listened to, so I just like rode through it, and I think that the narrator also really helped. But now we're done with the boring spoilers. Let's get on to the the spoiler parts of the book. So if you don't want to know what happens in the rest of the book, I suggest you click out, because we're gonna get into the spoilers. Pros. For my pros, this book is like a really good book if you want to get into fantasy, because it reads like a contemporary and a fantasy, just because they have the fairyland and they have the human world. So like the fairies travel from fairyland to the human world, and I really enjoyed that, because it's kind of like slowly getting me into the land. I like that the older sister was half fairy and half human. Like usually in other stories, like the main girl would be the one that's half fairy half human, and she would have to be dealing with all these issues. But I kind of like that the main girl is like a regular human and like boring in this world, and like the sister was like the important one. I actually like how ugly Jude felt compared to the others. Usually in YA books, the main character feels ugly and boring and all of this stuff, but Jude actually had a reason, because she grew up in this land where she felt ugly. Like, she was considered ugly to all the other fairies in the land, and so her being a human and being in the land of fairies, it kind of like made her insecure a lot. Not even with just her appearance, but with her fighting and everything else, and wanting to be as good as everyone. And I really like that. Like, it has like the insecure trope done well. Her just being good at like whatever she wants to be good at. I still don't know, like, it was like fighting or being a knight. That was not very clear to me, and I think that was like just me like zoning in and out on the audiobook. But her being good at whatever she wanted to be good at, and wanting to prove herself to the other fairies, and prove that she belonged there, or that she could even be better than them. Cardan is my mother freaking baby, okay? If you know me, you know that I love bad boys. Like, I love evil. Like, I just love a man who wants to like I just love a man who wants to take over the world. Like, yes, let's rule the world together. Like, you know, I just love it. And even though Cardan was not like that at all, he was still like he was still like the mean one, and Cardan wasn't even that bad. Like, I was expecting him to like throw bricks and stuff at her. Like, he was just like picking on her and like bullying her and stuff. So it wasn't just where he was like full down like pushing her and shoving her face in dirt or anything. Like, it was just like little stuff like that. I really didn't see him as cruel, honestly. Truly, the romance in this book was not a lot. Like, I like romance, but like when it's not there, I like it as well, so it's like really not a big deal for me. But it was like the romance in this book wasn't a lot, and like you don't really get a kiss until the end, which I really really love. And it's like the first, like, he admits he has feelings for her and he hates the feelings, and it's not just like he admits it and she's like, oh my god, I love you too, and like, I have feelings for you too. Like, no, like, she didn't. And I really enjoyed that. I think that Holly Black is setting this up for a slow burn relationship, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready to get my heart broken. Holly Black, take my heart in your hands and crush it, okay? Crush it. Okay, so now on to the cons. Here are the cons. Jewel's character was kind of boring. She didn't really have any kind of personality to me. She was like the typical fighter. I want to be good at everything. I need to be better, blah blah blah. But she had a reason for wanting to be better. Like, it wasn't just in the usual chosen one trope where like she's in this world and she's just automatically good and she knows what she's doing. Like, they played it off very very well. I just particularly she didn't have any other interests other than wanting to be like a freaking knight and being a spy, and like, she really didn't do much after that, honestly. It was a very little world building. Like, when I first read the story, I was like, oh, okay, it has some world building. Like, I really like the world building. But then as I went on, I was like, okay, the world building is actually like very minimum. Like, we know nothing about this world. And I mean, that really didn't bother me because I don't read a lot of fairy books. This is my first fairy book I've ever read. So, and this is my first fantasy book I've ever like really really dove into. Like, first, like, I don't know. So to me, I didn't mind it not being world building. I guess because the story was so good and I was so in love with Cardan, not even gonna lie. And like, I really liked, I don't know, I liked how the story was flowing. I liked the flow of the story. So the lack of world building, I really didn't mind. The magic wasn't really explained, but considering they're fairies, I didn't really expect it to be explained that well. Like, they're not witches to like their magic has to go into full depth. But I kind of do wish that it was explained a little bit more and we got a better idea of how the magic worked, because I was a little confused. Like, reading, I was just like, how does this work? Like, I don't understand. So I kind of wish it was a little better. What the heck are courts? Like, I don't read fairy. Like, this is my only fairy book I've ever read. I didn't read A Court of Thorns and Roses. So as a person who doesn't read fairy stories, I don't know what the heck courts are, and I kind of wish they were explained a little bit. Like, I feel like Holly Black like written this as if like we were just supposed to know what courts were and all that stuff, and like I didn't really enjoy that. I mean, I don't know, because I didn't read a lot of fairy, like, since I don't read a lot of like fairy books, I didn't really mind that I didn't know what courts were, that she didn't explain it. But if I was a big reader, that probably would have like taken off a little bit. Honestly, you would think that my cons would have taken off the story, but I just enjoyed it so much. Like, it was just such a good read. So the last half is going to be like my random thoughts I didn't put in like the pros and cons. But honestly, despite all the cons that I had, I really enjoyed this story. I think that this will be my favorite book that I read this year. Honestly, I don't even care about Jewel. I just care about Cardan, and I want to see what other characters they bring to the story. But around the time when like I really realized that, like, when I was reading the story, I really liked it and I was like, okay, this is really good. But when I realized like I was in freaking love with this story was around the end, when everyone, like, when the massacre basically happened at the coronation. That's when I realized, like, dang, I freaking love this story. Like, I was sitting there crying. Like, when Maddox like freaking killed Prince Dane, I was so hurt because I was kind of growing to Prince Dane and I kind of liked Prince Dane. I liked his character. And so I was talking to Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte, because she like freaking loves this story. So like, I was like telling her everything as I went on, and I remember telling her about this one scene with Locke, and I said something he said and it was just so beautiful, and I was like, I had to open my book, search for the chapter, and then find the page, because what he said was so beautiful to her. I was like, oh my freaking gosh, like, oh my gosh. And I did not predict that Locke was going to be with Tyrion the whole time. Like, I thought Tyrion was with like Belkin or something, honestly, or maybe Prince Dane. I really was not suspecting Cardan or Locke at all. Like, I don't know why I wasn't suspecting them, but I just didn't suspect Locke. I was like, no, it can't be, because she's like, if my sister was telling me about a guy that I'm supposed to be getting married, like, I'm gonna be like, you slept with the guy I'm supposed to be getting married, like, what the heck? Like, you know, it would be like that. Like, Tyrion did not care. I was like, okay. So I mean, obviously I didn't like Tyrion's character. Viv, I didn't really care for her character. Like, I liked her character, But it's like, oh my, she's not like my favorite characters, you know. Honestly, no character really matters to me except Cardan. If I'm gonna be real here, like we just stand a bad boy. Honestly, we stand a bad boy. Like Jude, girl, that's my man now. That's my man. Okay, he's mine. What else? Honestly, there were parts where I wanted them to get a little adults. Okay, when the massacre was going on and they were hiding under the table, I was like, just kiss, make out, do what you gotta do under that table, okay? And like when they went back to the little hideout place and like Cardan was tied up, I was like, do what you gotta do, like make some babies, please, please. That's all I'm asking for. I just want some little Cardans, okay? But no, we didn't get that. Apparently in the Wicked King it gets a little steamy, so I'm like, I'm so ready for that. I'm so ready. Like literally, this book took me through a lot. And also, I just want to say that watching non-spoiler reviews, like I just thought that this story was supposed to be like some cute like story about the prince just being cool. I thought it was about like, before going into the story, I thought it was about a girl and her sisters who got kidnapped and taken to fairyland, and and then there was a prince and he was really mean to her, and they were gonna fall in love. And this story was nothing of the sort. She was nothing of the sort, okay? Like, yeah, some of it, but I kind of like that. It's like, I think that's what kept me away from reading it, because I thought it was gonna have like such heavy romance in it. But I was like, I really been meaning to get this a try because a lot of my friends really love this story, so I was like, let me give it a try. The Cruel Prince really shook me. It really broke me. Like, it really broke me down and picked me back up. So I'm just gonna end the video here. Thank you for watching. I try to post 3 times a week. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.